but it doesn't. I want to make it look like it's painted on the wall. So there's one more thing we can do to this, which I think will just blow your minds. We want to make it look like the shape of the wall is actually coming through the lettering here. So we deal with transparency based on the luminance levels of the layer beneath. It's a lot easier than you think. It took me longer to explain it than it will to actually show it to you. What I want you to do is come across to layer 1 in your layers palette, and on the right hand side in this blank area next to the name layer 1, I want you to double click. It will bring up the layer style dialog box, and the first thing you will see is the blending options. And this is a very powerful function. What we're going to do is just look at one option here, which is the underlying layer, and this allows us to blend the two layers together based on the levels that we choose from the underlying layer. So what I want you to do is if you grab the dark value triangle here on the left-hand side, start dragging it to the right, have a look at what happens to your image. You'll see as you drag further to the right, the darker pixels start to eat through the image that's above it. Okay, now that's pretty cool. However, depending on how far you drag it, you'll notice it's very bitmap. There's no grayscale in this. It's just using solid pixels. So what I'm going to do is take it to round about, let's go for about 25. So only the very dark pixels are starting to eat their way through. But then this is the cool part. Hold down the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac, grab that same slider again and drag to the right, and you'll see what happened. The slider actually split in half. Now this allows us to pull to the right and introduce grays into the split. So it's not just using light and dark, it's also using grays. And you'll see the more that you drag and the less that you drag softens up the edge of the effect and reveals the wall more convincingly than just dragging the pixels alone. Okay, so I'm going to set it to around maybe 25 and 75. So that's defining an area here of 50 levels of gray that I used to mask out this layer on top. If you go ahead now and click OK, once again, let's hit the Tab key and get rid of everything around the outside. You can see there your finished effect. You have truly distressed type painted on a wall, all done through a couple of layer masks and one layer blending effect, which effectively finishes our book cover jacket in a very, very convincing way.